What is up, guys? It is the Muddy Puddle Squad here. Welcome back to a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be doing a case analysis of Luis Muñoz Cortes, more precisely Luis Alfredo Ignacio Muñoz Cortes, long name, who is a supercentenarian man who claimed to have made it to 117 years and 126 days. I misreported his age as 117 and 226 days. So my apologies for that. Just, sometimes you don't always read things right. I got the one mixed up with the two here. But he is only 126 days, not 226 days. So Mr. Cortes was born on September 4th, 1892 in Cachapoal, Chile, and began his studies at age 6 in 1898. Then he became a lawyer at the University of Chile in 1912. He married Herminda Flores Ayala, I hope I said that right, on April 9th, 1915. So all of this is extremely good evidence because we have documentation to look for. Although I personally haven't found any documentation, but there probably are certificates that exist from his early life proving his age, which would give him the early life documentation here. But what was interesting is he actually was an ambassador of Chile. He was Chile's ambassador to Peru, Venezuela, the United States, Canada, Australia, Portugal, France, Italy, Mexico, Austria, and New Zealand until September 11th, 1973, when after the coup, whatever that says, he was imprisoned despite his high age. Now, the one thing that is very strange about his case is that, oh, look, real quick, I'm sorry. I did not misreport his age. It gives his age as 226 days here and 126 days here. So that is an error on the gerontology fandom site. I just noticed that. I was like, I swear I read it was 226. But I'm going to go back and see how many days it actually was. I have a feeling it was 226 because this looks like more than 126 days. But anyway, sorry, that's kind of off topic there. But anyway, it was claimed that on February 27th, 2010, he was still alive at the age of 117 and suffered a heart attack due to the strong earthquake in the country. He passed away later that day on April 18th due to the complications from the heart attack from the earthquake. So now I'm going to give you guys the proof that I have found that definitely makes his case likely. So far, the only man in history that is considered a plausible claimant to living past 117 is Shigeikyo Izumi, but his age has been considered disputed, not debunked, disputed. So far, 117 has not been reached by any man yet. It has been reached by women, but not men. So now here's the strange thing about Mr. Cortes's claim. Very little evidence of his survival past the 1990s has been provided. What's strange is that he never actually claimed to be a supercentenarian. It was discovered after his death. Technically he did claim to be a supercentenarian shortly before he died at the age of 117. Now, what was weird about that is that we have no late life records for him, which is very strange. Usually it's the early life that we're missing, but in this case, it's the late life that we're missing. Usually late life records are not hard to find, but in his case, they have been impossible as of right now. Hopefully later in the future that changes, but as of right now, no one has found any late life records for this man, except for his death records and when he was admitted to the hospital at the age of 117. But there's a huge gap from the 1990s till when he died in 2010. That's very, very strange to me, but I'm going to show you now why he is definitely the most plausible. If you go to this Ancestry website, which collects birth records and death records, you can actually see that they list him as the matching birth date 1892 and the matching death date 2010. Unfortunately, his actual record does not exist on Wikipedia. We'll get to the Wikipedia thing here in a minute because there's a surprise there as well. But this website here actually lists him as being 117. Now, these ancestry websites, they're not always 100% correct, but most of the time they're pretty good. I mean, you do stumble upon records that are, not 100% correct, but that's unusual. So the fact that he is actually listed on this website is a huge, massive amount of support toward his case. Again, not all these websites are correct. We can't take this as 100% proof, but this definitely supports his age. We can't say, oh yeah, it's right here, let's validate him. No, we can't quite do that because this is just an ancestry website. This is just, this is a huge beam of support toward his case. It helps, but it does not, completely validate him. But this right here is surprising, as I did not expect to find this on this ancestry website. This is huge. And now he does not, unfortunately, have a Wikipedia page, but he is listed on Wikipedia as the list of ambassadors of Chile to the United States. So if we scroll down here to January 1st, 1943, we can see Luis Muñoz Cortes' page does not exist under Franklin D. Roosevelt. And there is actually newspaper clippings where he was able to meet Franklin D. Roosevelt. So that's very, very interesting. This definitely, he seems very plausible to me until you get to the late life records. That's very strange. It is possible, since there is not much evidence, it is possible that the website that published his death did not publish it correctly. That's always a possibility as well. I investigated the website, and it does report factual information. But again, a lot of these news sites, everything you see on the news isn't 100% true, because people do get their facts wrong sometimes. It happens to me. It happens to everybody. But again, it's if all of these sites have gotten his information wrong, it would be unusual. So this case, I think, definitely needs to be studied more. In fact, a comment here even says the exact same thing. He never claimed to be a supercentenarian until right before he passed away. This guy makes, I don't know who this guy is, but this guy makes a theory that it is possible he was confused with another man who died in his place of birth in 2010. That is a possibility. We can't rule that out. But considering that this ancestry website has his records, that makes it unlikely that he was confused with someone else. So, there's my thoughts on this case. This is, I think, the best proof of a man living to be over 117 that we currently have. But I'm going to say it again. That doesn't mean that his case is true. But I would definitely consider him a plausible case for right now. So far, I haven't found any evidence debunking him. I have researched his case on the 110 Club and other gerontology sites, and no one has any evidence of him being debunked. So this is definitely a good sign. The last thing I wanted to say was, strangely, if his age is true, that would mean that Anicio Rodriguez Alves was never actually the world's oldest living man, due to his life coinciding with his. Now that right there does kind of make his case a little skeptical, because the statistics and the probability that we'd have a 116-year-old and a 117-year-old man, both born in 1892, is extremely low. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with this case. Thank you guys for checking out this video. I really appreciate you guys watching my content, and I will see you all next time. Later.